first thing you'll need is a cauldron. And cauldrons, you can get them at the villages sometimes, or also make them using iron. So with the cauldrons, you could start out with a small farm with only 3 cauldrons, or you can expand it out as you get more materials, basically at infinity to however big you would like it to be. And the more cauldrons and supplies you use, of course, to make the farm, the larger the farm is, the more lava you'll get more quickly so that you can use it consistently as your fuel source instead of coal. Alrighty, so we have our cauldrons down in a line. Next, we need our pointed dripstone and our dripstone blocks. Again, you can have this as wide or as small as you need. If you need to begin with only 1 cauldron, that's fine. So first of all, we're going to crouch down and we're going to place 1 dripstone above the cauldrons. For this particular block, it could be any junk block. Dripstone's just what I have right now. Also notice you cannot place it on top of the cauldron unless you're crouched. Alright, so once we have placed that first block above the cauldron, we're going to jump and place a dripstone block above it and break the junk block. Okay, so now there's a space between the dripstone and the cauldrons, and let's make a line of the dripstone blocks above each cauldron. So a dripstone block above each cauldron here is what we need. Again, the longer you make this farm, the more lava you'll get, and the more lava you'll be able to put in your furnaces instead of using coal. Let's place the pointed dripstone now below each dripstone block, like so. Okay, so we can see here again, we have dripstone blocks, and below them pointed dripstone, and then below that cauldrons, right? Now what we're going to do is grab some glass, as we will need that. For this particular step, you could use a different block, but I personally like to be able to see the lava. Also, I'm going to grab a junk block, in this instance cobblestone, as that's one of the commonly had junk blocks early on in the game. Now, you can see the cobblestone is level with the top of the dripstone blocks, right? Above that cobblestone, we're going to place our first block of glass, like so. And then we're going to continue lining up the glass all the way around the edge of the dripstone. Again, not on top of the dripstone, all the way around the edge of the dripstone. Here we go. A couple more blocks. As you can see here in the corner, you don't necessarily have to place a block in each corner. However, it does look better if you do. You could place a junk block in the corner if you didn't have enough glass, but I really like the clean look with having glass in each one of the corners. All right. So we are about ready for our step that involves lava. Okay, so we're going to have lava buckets for this step. So make sure when you're exploring caves, you've already made a bucket using iron, and you filled it with lava. You can fill it up just like you would any other bucket, for instance, a bucket of water. Now we're going to put 1 lava bucket on each one of the dripstone blocks. Okay, so don't just put it on one block and let it flow over the other blocks. That won't work because then you don't have a source of lava above each dripstone. Because lava is not like water where you can allow it to spread and form a source like you could do in a water source that's 2 by 2. Instead, you do need a single lava bucket for every single dripstone block. Okay?